Hi everybody, today I'm going to talk to you about making your own laundry detergent. But the first thing I want to talk to you about is this ingredient called sodium percarbonate. Now a lot of people either take brand names of this, which isn't pure sodium percarbonate, which this is, or they avoid it altogether because, as you notice on the front, it says danger, danger, danger. What sodium percarbonate is, washing soda is sodium carbonate. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. This is sodium percarbonate. So I want you to think about any of the oxy products that you've heard of. They are to various degrees sodium percarbonate. The higher the sodium percarbonate, the more effective it seems to be in making clothes bright. And even the low end, like many laundry detergents now just include sodium percarbonate, so they can say Oxy Power, Oxy Boost, whatever it is. But they're usually less than 25% of the oxy whatever. Sodium percarbonate has danger on it. Danger, 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 danger. For one reason and one reason only. It is powdered oxygen. That's what it is. So if you have a fire and you open the door, you make the fire worse because oxygen fuels fire. So sodium percarbonate under certain conditions could fuel a fire. Or could be add to something that's already a problem. But if you don't have a problem, there is no problem. So forget the danger. Sodium percarbonate is very, very, very safe. As long as you're not chucking it into a fire, as long as you're not putting it near an open flame, it's perfectly safe. So that's the first thing. Second of all, it's very inexpensive compared to the brand name Oxy this, Oxy that. The highest amount that you're going to find on your store shelves is going to be 65% sodium percarbonate. The other 35% is washing soda, which is relatively cheap, and there should be no reason why you're paying these exorbitant prices. Now there's some concentrated oxygen that is on infomercials and things like that. A lot of those are 80% sodium percarbonate. So they have more percentage than anything you could buy in the supermarket or at the big box store, wherever you shop. So yes, those infomercials will say this beats out, all of the oxy products that you see on the shelf in the supermarket. They are probably right, because when I did my research on this, I found that there were infomercial products that did have more sodium percarbonate than the stuff on the store shelves. So what does this mean to you? It means that when you're making your own laundry detergent, if you're using anything with a brand name, you're spending too much money. Now I'm going to show you how to make one without any brand names and how to use one without many brand names. A lot of people swear by washing soda plus borax plus grated soap, and that is it. That's all they use, and that's perfectly fine. That will give you a perfectly fine laundry detergent. You need the soap for what's called a surfactant. That is basically what breaks the water down so that it basically releases the tension of the water surface and the fabric surface. So it makes the water absorb more into the fabric so that it can release the stains. So you do need the soap, the detergent, whatever it is. But you have to look at your soap and your detergent. You have to look at what am I putting in here? Because a lot of it is unnecessary. Now, the basic laundry detergent, that powder that you make yourself, that's very effective and uses no brand names, you know, other than, I mean, Arm & Hammer is a brand name, 20 Mule Team is a brand name, but you know what I mean, like, you know, the big ones. Washing soda, borax, and soap. And you don't want to be using really, really moisturizing soap. You want to be able to use something that's going to be removing the stains and adding to the surfactant. That's what you want. Now, a lot of people will add some of the oxy things. And I'll tell you that most of the oxy things that you find on the store shelf is nothing more than 65% sodium percarbonate and 35% washing soda. Now, you already have washing soda. Why are you going to pay for it again? It's ridiculous. The other thing that people use are these crystals, like Purex crystals. It's like you can get Epsom salt for like half the price. Why would you do that? It's ridiculous. Some people will go and they'll use, you know, fabric softener, use baking soda, use Epsom salt, you know, use things like that. You don't have to go and buy these other things. So I want to show you the very best ingredient, the very best ingredients I've come up with without using any, except I make my own liquid soap. I make a Bastille soap. A true Castile soap is 100% olive oil. I do a liquid Bastille soap, which is mostly olive oil with other things attached. It's like 65% olive oil. It's 20% of coconut oil, or sometimes 25% coconut oil. The rest is castor oil, and castor oil gives bubbles, so it's nice. So I use my own, but a lot of people don't want to grate up the soap. Well, you don't have to grate up the soap. You get an old salad shooter. You can get it in a secondhand store on eBay. You get them very cheap, and they do a wonderful job, and they'll grate up your bar of soap in about 2 seconds. So I'm going to show you how to make a laundry powder, a laundry detergent, using no brand names. Although if you don't make your own soap, you're going to have to use a brand name. And I say use, you know, Fells or Zote, something like that, that is basically meant to be a laundry soap. I don't use any of the products that are in Zote and Fells, so I don't use those. I use my own liquid laundry soap, and I put it in at the time. So other than the soap, I'm going to show you how to make a really effective and a much cheaper laundry powder. And if you're doing washing soda, borax, and soap, and then you're adding OxiClean and Purex crystals, you're kind of defeating the purpose. So I'm going to show you how to do the whole thing generically. Okay, this is a salad shooter, and I got this at somebody's garage sale, and there's another inside that comes that's smaller, so you don't have to have it shaved as high as I'm going to do it. But that was one of the reasons why I paid like 50 cents for this, was because it only came with one of the little grater things inside, and it's one of the bigger ones. The more popular one is the one that has smaller. I'll show you. It's this one, and the other one is, I believe it's smaller. I don't have it because I bought this one, and I did pay like 50 cents for it. But you can get these on eBay. You can get them in tag sales. I mean, if you want to wait and shop around, go to a secondhand store, things like that, you'll be able to find them. But if you're going to make a lot of your own laundry detergent, or you're going to make soap and you have soap embeds, or you're going to do rebatching, you definitely need one of these. So what I usually use for my laundry powder is this bucket. It's a little bucket. Coconut oil came in it at one point. So I take my Fells Napa soap, which I don't use, but I'm using it for this demonstration, and I cut it up into little pieces. And then you take your salad shooter and you put the sorry, you put the soap in there, you press down, and now I need to get so anyway, this is how it comes out. It comes out, and I think that there's another greater part that makes them smaller, maybe one that makes them bigger. I don't know. I only got one. And now this is my last one. See how easy that is? Now if you grate a bar of soap, it's going to take a lot longer. So the salad shooter, even if you have to pay full price, it's a great investment. Okay, so that's 1 bar of Fells Natural Soap. Then I'm going to do the very basic recipe that most people use. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get a cup of washing soda. Now washing soap, so now I'm going to do the basic recipe that most people use, and the first thing that I'm going to use is washing soda. Now washing soda is sodium carbonate, and baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. You can make baking soda into washing soda by putting it in the oven. I'm not going to go into that now, but I'm just letting you know. If you ever wake up one day and you don't have it, but you do have baking soda, look online. There's plenty of recipes for how to turn baking soda into washing soda. So the next ingredient that we're going to put in our little pail is a cup of washing soda. Then the next one we're going to put in is a cup of borax. So this is our cup of borax. So right now I have the grated soap, the washing soda, and the borax. And that's all you need to do laundry. And let me just show you what it looks like. And if you use Zote, I think it's pink. You know, if you use Ivory, it's white. Whatever you want to use. I mean, try to stay away from, you know, anything that moisturizes, because you don't want an oily feeling on your clothes. Now we're going to continue, because people are continually adding things to this. Now, if you take OxiClean and you put it in here, you're putting in 65% sodium percarbonate and 35% washing soda. You don't need any more washing soda. I mean, if you want to put some more in, go right ahead, but you really don't need to. So all you really need is your sodium percarbonate, and try not to make this while you're having a house fire. Now, since OxiClean is 60%, you could go anywhere from 60% to 100%. And the infomercial oxys are about 80%. So what you want to do is you want to, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in about 70%. My clothes are not that dirty. About 70%. Now, if you're washing white, you might want to go 100% or 80%. But you don't have to buy those infomercial sodium percarbonate products to get really good stuff. So I'm at about 6 here. So I want to go to like 7. So there I go. So now I have about 70% sodium percarbonate. Now this is going to be an incredible laundry detergent. Now, some people put the Purex crystals in. You don't need that. That's like a fabric softener. Epsom salt. It's for some extra scrubby and for some water softening. So put in a cup of Epsom salt. And if you compare the price between a cup of Purex crystals and a cup of Epsom salt, you will be running for the Epsom salt. Now, I put in about a half a cup of baking soda. Totally optional. I like it for its deodorizing. So I have about a half a cup of baking soda in there. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. I can't think of anything else to add to this. And except for the soap, I didn't put anything in here, you know, that's really a brand name. Now, some people put in Biz detergent instead of the soap. And while it's better than soap, and it's not, I have to do a thing on Biz. I'm going to do a thing on all these different ingredients and why you need them and why you don't need them, blah, blah, blah. But Biz always has these things like it beats OxyClean, yada, yada. And I think it actually has more sodium percarbonate than Biz does. And instead of having borax, it has, I believe it's sodium borate is what it has. And that's not the same as borax, which a lot of people look at it and go, oh, this must be the same as borax. It's not. But you need some kind of detergent in here. And a lot of people will just, instead of the soap, they'll put in Biz. Now, Biz is, again, you're doubling up on some of your ingredients that you already have here, and you don't really need it. So if you really want to get, you know, and you have to look at the cost of all these things. And if you're adding OxyClean, you're adding Purex crystals, you're adding Biz, it's like I mean, why bother with the washing soda and the borax? I mean, just go out and buy some regular laundry detergent. I mean, that's just crazy. So anyway, that's how you make it without any name brands. And I make my own laundry soap, so I'm not going to use it for this, but normally what I do, and this is my Bastille laundry soap. I use it all around the house for a lot of things. And when I talk about, when I do my little dog and pony show on sodium percarbonate, I'm going to tell you about all the different uses that it has, because like OxyClean, you'll know that like you could do amazing things all over the house with OxyClean. Same thing with sodium percarbonate, except you control the amount that you use. If you want to use 100% on something that's really difficult, you can use it. A lot of people do that on their decks. I'm going to do it on my deck because I've got like green algae on it from the winter time. But I mix sodium percarbonate with my own laundry detergent, household detergent, that it's soap that I make. And I'll do a video on making liquid soap. I just have so much of it. I can't do one right now. And I'll show that to you, but I'm going to also do a video on all these different things and how they differ, because if you go on the internet, you will notice that people will say, oh, sodium percarbonate is nothing but soda ash. Not true. The other thing that I mentioned, I may have mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you want to forego the sodium percarbonate and throw in a cup of liquid of hydrogen peroxide, that's good too. So, you know, you don't have to go for any of the oxy whatevers. It's like hydrogen peroxide is so cheap. Sodium percarbonate is so cheap. And a lot of these bigger companies get their sodium percarbonate from China, and you don't know that it's going to be 100% pure. I can tell you that when I got this, it's 100% pure. So that's the other reason to not buy these commercial products, because a lot of them are just sourcing from China, and you don't want that. You want locally sourced. You want to know that this, this sodium percarbonate is pure. It's not got, a half a ton of table salt in it. So anyway, that's it. Use that as your laundry detergent, and you will be very happy. Your clothes will be very happy, and you will save a boatload of money. Talk to you later. Bye.